Hey, hey, Mary, Mary. Welcome to your weekly reading. I'm Madeline. I'm excited to see what's coming up for all of us this holiday week. How have y'all been? I'm doing better. I'm happy to be back. Very excited to read for all of us. And we're going to jump right in. So, as always, these weekly readings can be used as kind of like a how to, a pointer, a compass for the week ahead. So, we're going to start by pulling a card to represent the overall energy that each sign will be interacting this week. Then we'll see what kind of persona card they get, how they're showing up, and how Spirit wants to recommend they interact with that energy. And then we will pull a card from each of the four elements to take a look at money and career, thoughts and headspace, feelings and relationships, and how and where your energy is being directed this week. So let's jump in, shall we? I'm going to kick it off with Aries. I want to tune into what is showing up for Aries this week and what they need to know for their highest good. I want to welcome you, Aries, to center yourself and request a message for the coming week for your highest good. To know that however this energy shows up, that it is for your highest good. Beautiful, very Aries energy. I will pick up and show you everything in just a second, Aries. So then, Spirit, how is Aries interacting with this overall energy? I'm hearing, wow, beautiful. I'm hearing fresh start. Aries, we love a clean slate. We just celebrated the winter solstice. Probably going to hear me rant about this more than once, but I'm a firm believer that the arbitrary Gregorian 2023 to 2024 turn of the calendar in the middle of the coldest fucking part of the year is absurd. Like, I'm not calling this New Year. We can listen for shorthand, sure, we can do that. For me, spring equinox is the actual New Year. So, fresh start. Regardless, at any point we can have a clean slate, and that is always a good thing. Spirit is saying you know a lot and you don't know everything. And they're not saying that with shade. It's like you are really mastering something, you are demonstrating and understanding, you are really growing in your craft, and there are new horizons yet to be discovered. So that's what I'm hearing this week is like be open, clean slate. Okay, Spirit. Just want to pull a couple more and see where Aries is at with their money, their budget, their career this week, what they need to know about it for their highest good. Yeah, don't be afraid. Okay. Okay. And Spirit, what about Aries' headspace? The quality of their thoughts and conversations this week. Beautiful. And what about emotionally? What's going on with your feelings, Aries? My Aries sun, moon, rising, and stellium people, Spirit. What do you want to share with them about their emotions? Really beautiful cards this week, Aries. We love to see it. And finally, Spirit, what about Aries' own element? Their fire. Wow, they threw that out quick. Yes. Okay. I completely understand why they're saying what they're saying about like you have this mastery, but there's something available. There's something new on the horizon. So, overall energy for this week for you, Aries, the Fool. This is a very you card. It's going boldly where you haven't gone before. Big Aries energy. And not being afraid to make mistakes. If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. That is a quote from one of my favorite Stoic philosophers, Epictetus. It's a great time to remind yourself that you can be a king of something, which king and queen, nothing to do with sex and gender, everything to do with like kind of where you are in like your station in life, we could say, right? And a king is on top. A king, everyone can see the tangible results of what it is that they've been cultivating. So Spirit, as I say that, is showing me plants. Spirit is showing me money. Spirit is showing me a corner office. They're all going to be different ways that they show up for different areas because these are general readings, right? But Spirit is showing me these different things. So it's like, where is your mastery and growth? And how can you, Spirit is saying, look back and reflect. We're in the winter season. It's divesting season. It's dying off season. Look back and appreciate the harvest. Really appreciate it. Like, pat yourself on the back, no matter whether it's baby steps or miles. Okay. That's what they're saying. So You have all this mastery, all this understanding, all this growth and great ideas. And I'm going to jump over here to your energy. Ace of Wands, a brilliant new idea. It's just a spark. It's not a full on fire yet. It's just a spark. What is a spark requires oxygen. A spark requires, protection. It needs some glass. It needs a container around it to keep the wind from getting in and blowing it out. Don't prevent or protect yourself, is what Spirit is saying, from doing something new because you want to show up as like a leader and like an authority. Authorities, a beginner's mind creates the best authority. So I don't think I need to belabor that point with Aries. Don't be afraid to venture in a new direction. Don't be afraid even to do something that seems a little unconventional or that pulls you away from institutions or organizations that may be kind of hampering your ability to express yourself. That's just what I'm hearing. That will not apply for everyone. Good, great time to remind you, general readings. If you ever want a personal one, all that info is in the box below. So it feels like some of you are doing something unconventional when it comes to your lifestyle. Like maybe the work that you do is very personal and it's like only something that you can do on your own without all the protections of, religion or institutional power or that corner office that Spirit was talking about for some other Aries. It's like, nope, I'm the one growing all the stuff or whatever, and I'm not doing this in some conventional way. You can do something unconventional. You can go off in a new direction. You can blaze a new trail and figure something out and go to a place that you've never done before, kind of shedding some baggage, shedding some protection, and going off in this bold new direction. And Five of Pentacles can talk about poverty or tightness of money, but you are showing up as a King of Pentacles. So maybe even materially, some of you are feeling like, man, I am having to budget really hard. It's been a rough few years financially for all of us, right? And if you're feeling the pinch, I don't want to invalidate that. I want to tell you though that you have many, you have many, many resources, abilities, skills. So King of Pentacles, as well resourced as he is, knows that it's not about the resources, it's about the resourcefulness. It's about taking what is around and really using it. And the Five of Pentacles can hint at sometimes that we aren't aware that there is maybe some help available. Now, like I said, some of you may be rejecting that help and like, I don't want to be part of this group or organization or institution. I have to go my own way. Fleetwood Mac, right? So that's what Spirit's playing in my head. I have to go my own way. No, that's fine. But for some of you, if you're feeling like, God, I really wish I did have some help, it feels like there is help available. Don't be afraid to look around, to, go on a little Google search even and just see what kind of help and resources are available. That King of Pentacles and that little goat in the background, for whatever reason, Spirit was really pulling me toward it, saying like, there's stuff just right around you, very close to you. Okay. So for those of you that do feel that way and don't feel so King of Pentacles-y right now, there is help available, and please remember how well resourced you are from the inside. You are incredible. You have everything that you need. That's what Spirit is saying. And what you don't have, you'll find along your way. They're saying that like that's like highlighted, bolded, italicized, and underlined. What you don't have, and you are well equipped, but what you don't have, you will find along the way. The next step reveals itself as you take the first one. Okay? So, grab your little torch. You've got the world in your hands. Grab your little torch and go forward. If you've been questioning whether to do this new thing, feels like a great time to do it. Your headspace looks really wonderful this week, spacious, organized, and if not, this would be a good time to take timeouts on purpose to do this kind of thing. Journaling, putting on, turning the camera, the audio, like the mic on your phone and just like blurting out your thoughts. It's the holidays. Some of us might be visiting family or handling the stress of it. Great time to create pockets of peace intentionally, to build some decompression right into your calendar. With this Fool, though, between the Fool and the Four of Swords, I feel like letting go comes mostly pretty easily. Letting go as in letting, water off a duck. Yep, that's mom. That's kind of what they're saying is like, yep, that's mom. She's going to ask about my marital status or, my like weight gained, lost, like blah blah blah, all the inappropriate, irrelevant things, right? That's mom. That's not my shit. That's a her problem. It's not a me problem. You know, doesn't make it that that's not difficult, but it does make it that like I'm I've got my focus going in the right direction. I'm not questioning. I'm not getting on their side asking why I'm not married or what's going on with my job or blah blah blah. Right? I know who I am. I let that shit water off the duck. That shit. I don't need anybody's approval. I'll do it my own way. I'm zen about that shit. I'm cool. Now, all that said, it actually looks really wonderful in the realm of relationships, feelings, your heart space. 10 of Cups is my cups runneth over. I'm abundantly blessed. I've got love from my family. I've got love from my friends. I've got love from partner. I've got love from pets. I've got love from Mother Earth. All of the things. You are surrounded. So I'll say once again that if there's any concern about like, I need help and I'm not sure if it'll be there for me, 10 of Cups would echo that the help is there for those of you that do need it. Need it or want it. Enjoy being with family, whether that is chosen family or DNA bio family. I see generations coming together, and Spirit is actually saying some generational wisdom might be shared. So now they're saying something else, which is we can forget how vital it is to set an intention for something. So if you're maybe going into like a holiday visit or a holiday party or gathering of some kind, and you're going to go be with family, and it's like there's the ones that I love, there's the ones that annoy me, whatever, it runs the gamut. What I want to experience is how open-hearted and generous I can be, right? Or how bravely I can stand up in my boundaries and express myself authentically, or whatever. Fill in the blank with like the intention that you need. If you know it's going to be some conflict and you need to shore up your courage, do that. If it's that you've been a little shielded or hardened in the past and this time you want to show up a little softer, set an intention for that. It feels like you will feel the love this week, Aries. I hope that you do. I hope that you feel a little right here because I'm sending it to you for real, for real. I know this is a digital thing. I know, but whatever. Age of Aquarius. We're all connected. I fucking love you. I don't care. All right. I hope that that is helpful to you, Aries. And I hope that you have a wonderful holiday week. And please, as always, if you have stories, comments, questions, I would love to hear. Let me know. Share. All right. Now, let's talk to Taurus. My fixed earth friends, welcome, welcome, Taurus. Let's pull a few cards for you and get the lay of the land for the week. First, for my Taurus sun, Taurus moon, Taurus rising and dominant friends, spirit, what is the overall energy and theme of the week? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I will pick up and show you everything in just a second, Taurus. And spirit, how is Taurus themselves showing up? Beautiful. There is something happening between Aries and Taurus. I just have to think that a lot of people that listen to these share, like, you know, it's like, oh, I'm an Aries rising and a Taurus sun, or vice versa, or something like that, because there's always some thread. Okay. All right, Spirit. Now, when it comes to Taurus's money, work, budgets, beautiful, 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 beautiful. You've got something special, Taurus. Something of the money-making or resource-producing variety. We'll talk about it. Okay. So, Spirit, what about their headspace? The quality of their thoughts, words, conversations this week for Taurus. Okay? And what about emotions, relationships? What is going on in the realm of the heart for Taurus? And one more. What about their energy, spirit, their creativity, their will? How is Taurus's fire showing up this week? There are a lot of possibilities on the table, Taurus. It's kind of like you have every element. Well, it's exactly like you have every element on the table that you need. Pentacle, sword, wand, cup. It's a matter of how you want to mix it up, how you want to do, what recipe do you want to put your different skills, abilities, gifts together and create? The Magician, the Manifester. Right next to you, showing up this week as the King of Pentacles. So not only in your element, showing up as a Pentacles person, but an expert, the top of your game, right? That's what it means to show up as a king. Nothing to do with your gender or sex, everything to do with kind of like your level of mastery and how well demonstrated people can see that you are a master of that craft. So a lot of you are definitely known as that money manifester, that, you know, that Midas touch is actually what Spirit is saying. If you remember the myth of King Midas, who would, you know, touch things and they would turn to gold. So that's what they're saying. And let's just jump right to your money, budget, and career. Ace of Pentacles, brilliant. Brilliant like a seed of potential, like new job or new investment or new little chunk of income that, if cultivated correctly, can grow into so much more. The seed that can become the orchard. I'm hearing retirement for some of you. So some of you may be actually like, oh, I'm right about to cash in my retirement. Some of you might have just gotten started. There are many different messages coming in from many different Tauruses. Okay, that's the nature of doing these general readings. What I would say is, showing up as the King of Pentacles and then seeing this Ace of Pentacles, you definitely know what to do with this. So trust yourself. Magician says there's many different ways that it could go. And to jump over to the emotional realm, how you are feeling this week, Seven of Cups is kind of like, ooh, there's many options and I have many dreams. There's many ways that I could emotionally get invested. Between that and the Magician, and then let's jump over to your energy. It's a really beautiful, it's a beautiful, rich spread that is full of possibilities. There's one piece of static that we're going to talk about in just a second, but it feels like Eight of Wands. Many, many things are possible for you this week, Taurus. What do you really want? Are you feeling focused, or are you feeling a little bit diffused? You know, what Spirit is saying is sometimes we can make the mistake of thinking that if we feel a little bit diffused or confused, right? Like, oh, I don't really know what I want, or I don't really know where I want to pour my energy right now. We can sometimes think that we need to like focus and we need to like furrow our brow. We need to get really concentrated about it, when really, if you think about a Taurus, if you think about a bull, they don't move fast. They don't turn on a dime. They move nice and slow. So you don't need to suddenly get super hyper focused or like start trying to calculate and figure things out. That actually feels like the opposite of the right move. When it comes to thoughts, words, feelings, Five of Swords can be, Spirit is using, Spirit is using the phrase, we can get a little high on our own supply. We can get a little, you know, we think that we're right. Human nature. I think, you know, I've lived my life. I've seen the things I've seen. So I know these things to be true. But you've lived your life and you've had those experiences and you know that to be true. And neither of us is wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's a perspective thing. You know, Spirit is using one of my favorite words, which is parallax, which is a description for like, you can put, like, depending on literally where you are positioned in the universe, you will see something different from this other position. And when we look at those, when we put those perspectives side by side, it's like that's parallax. So don't be myopic. That's another word that Spirit is using. Like, don't be tight in your perspective and vision. We can get, again, we're human. We can get caught up in our own perspective of this is how you should be living your life. And one of the ways that Spirit is bringing this through is like, maybe some of you have children. And it's like, I'm very invested in how well my children do. I know how they need to do it. They need to do it the way that I did it. And that's how they're going to get successful, right? That's how they're going to pile up their money. Well, we don't always know everything. Simple. Simple, not maybe easy to swallow, but a very simple concept. And it just, there it is. There's no arrogance, ego, like there's no problem with that. That is what it is. Like there's billions of us on the planet. We all know things that the others don't know. That's part of the miracle of humanity and how we're all just, you know, God consciousness shattered into a billion different pieces, right? Getting to know itself again. That's another story. Okay. My point is, be open to negotiation. Don't be quick to close off or cut off other people because maybe you think you know everything. That's just what I'm hearing. Again, this is a beautiful spread. So much looks like it's possible. So, with so much available and possible, don't negate other people's input and perspective because it might actually really help you figure out, oh, this is how I want to remix my life for the coming year. You know, maybe I was focused on you know, my mental health, and now I'm moving into growing my money or taking care of my physical body or whatever. Think about kind of how is your harmony, your life harmony, earth, air, fire, water, mind, body, spirit, etc. Is anything like dramatically like weighed in this favor and not over in this one? It's like, you know, I take really great care of my fitness, but my mental health is pretty shit. Well, then it might be time to bring the sword forward and be like, I need more swords in this recipe. I need to be more aware of how my mental health, you know what I'm talking about? Remix. How are you doing? Spirit is showing me one of those like life wheels where you gauge and kind of fill in like a graph. This is how happy I am with money. This is how happy I am in my romantic life. This is how happy I am with play. This is how much play is involved in my life, you know? Spirit showing me that. Kind of like take an energy audit, take an emotional audit, see how you're doing, see what you want more or less of in your life and arrange them as such. Okay? Okay. I hope that's helpful, Taurus. It looks like a pretty magical fucking week. Looks like you can rearrange things exactly the way that you want to. You know what you're doing and you don't know everything. So be open to that resource as well, as what Spirit is saying. Is the King of Pentacles is about resourcefulness, and sometimes we have other people. And again, Spirit is showing me younger people. So for not for all of you is it necessarily your kids, but for a lot of you there is like a theme of like there's a young person bringing in a perspective or a concept that might seem foreign or silly or not important, and you might be surprised at what the addition of, you know, what that parallax could do for you. Okay? Okay. I really hope that helps, Taurus. Please, and let me know, please, if like anything jumps up for you, if anything resonates or pops in, or anything you want to share, I would love to hear it. Let me know. I'm always super curious. Okay, now let's talk to Gemini, my mutable air friends. Spirit, want to look at the overall theme. Overall energy coming up for Gemini this week. Okay, we love to see it. And I want to pull one more. Looks like you're investigating, Gemini. Love it. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Got a 2 for this week. Next, and don't worry, I will pick up and show you everything in just a sec, Gemini. But next, we got to pull your persona card, Spirit. How is Gemini themselves showing up and interacting with this energy? I'm hearing you're setting yourself free from something. The opportunity's there. The potential is there. Okay. So Spirit, please show me, how is Gemini showing up? Gorgeous. Fan-fucking-tastic. Wow. Okay. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going, Gemini. How is your money looking this week? Money, budget, work, career, and resources. Spirit. Okay. Woo! Spirit is talking fast. It's like, well, that's appropriate, right? As soon as we come to Gemini, Spirit's like, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'll get right there, Spirit. In just a sec. Okay, what about their headspace? Maybe that's why Spirit's talking so fast. It's like, what do you think? What would you guess the headspace of a Gemini is right now? Okay. But I want to know, Spirit, what they need to know for their highest good. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising. Okay. And what about emotionally? When it comes to feelings, relationships for Gemini, Spirit? What do they need to know about the realm of their heart for their highest good? You are going to be interacting with your doubts this week, Gemini. And that doesn't have to be a fucking negative thing. And as a matter of fact, it's showing up as this is potentially the most empowering thing that you could interact with this week, okay? You might want to ignore it. It's not the fucking best idea. Okay, we're going to talk about it. This is cool. I like this. Okay, Spirit, finally, want to look at their energy, the way that their fire is showing up and being directed. Look at you. Right after I say that, we pull a card. Look at you, facing your doubts. Okay, let's talk about it. So, your overall energy for this week shows up as the moon. And whenever we get a card that is a little bit mysterious, or maybe, you know, if it was the Tower or something else like that, I will usually pull kind of like an antidote, a prescriptive card to assist with that energy. So when it comes to the moon and like, okay, you're in the mystery, everything is not as it seems this week. There's more subtext than you might be noticing yet. So your clarifier, though, the Chariot. Are we seeing any similarities in the symbolism straight off the bat? We're going to get into the meaning of that in just a second, but first I want to show you how you are showing up, Gemini, as the King of Swords, the master of your element. King, queen, nothing to do with sex and gender, everything to do with kind of your station in life, your personality, your style. So this week you're showing up as an authority, an expert, a master of your arena, your realm. And the King of Swords is the King of Air. So master communicator, brilliant strategist, one who sees and speaks the truth. There's a whole lot of integrity in the King of Swords. But what I'll say about the King of Swords is that he's not very comfortable with sorting through the big mysteries of the unconscious. The King of Swords likes things logical, rational. What is the moon? Illogical, irrational. It is the messages that come in our gut or in our dreams. It's when things are not clear. So what it feels like to me is a lot of you are weighing through some emotional murkiness, some fear, some, oh, I don't want to go there, is kind of what I'm hearing. We're going to put this picture all together for you. Let's look at money, budget, work, resources. So Spirit is saying, Gemini, notice where you feel tight. Notice where you feel maybe specifically like, I'm not enough. I'm not good enough, or I'm not doing enough, or I don't make enough, or I don't have enough, or wherever there is not enough in your life, that could be like one of the clues to what this moon murky energy that wants to be not examined, reflected upon. So a King of Swords might want to get in there and analyze. Well, why am I feeling this way? Chop, 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 like chop, bring out the scalpel and chop up my heart and look in there. That's not the move. When you come into contact with this tightness or this fear of lack or loss, especially around money or like career strides, things like that, like how are they getting all this and I'm only getting that, or whatever, right? Wherever you feel the not enoughness, be present with it. Reflect. That's what the moon calls for. Reflect. Wow, I'm having a really strong response to my partner telling me that they got this promotion or whatever. And I would have thought that I'd be happy about that. Instead, right now, I'm feeling really tight or jealous or whatever. Now, I could just decide, well, that's me being a fucking piece of shit and I should really shut the fuck up and tighten up. And okay, sure. I get it. That's a perspective. And feelings are messengers. Feelings aren't inherently good or bad or logical. They show us something that is hidden inside of us sometimes. Again, like I thought that I'd be happy, but instead I feel this. Maybe you got the promotion. It's like I thought I'd feel happy about getting this job. Instead, I'm feeling like shit or whatever. It's like, oh, okay, let me sit with that. Let me kind of meditate on that shit, or take a long walk and let my thoughts roll around and see what shows up for me. You don't have to analyze it. You want to make room for it. Do you feel me? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like you don't need to pour over it and like make sense of it and parse it. Just be with it and let things bubble up to the surface. So I want to come back to this. The chariot as your clarifier. The chariot is seizing the reins. The chariot describes victory. It describes the overcoming of obstacles. And even better, it's like the obstacle is the way. And that's a spirit, That's a phrase that spirit is using and saying very clearly. So for some of you, maybe you're reading that book or you have read that book and it's like time to revisit it or time to visit it for the first time. If you're like, ooh, that does resonate. I am dealing with like this big murky obstacle or whatever. Spirit is saying the obstacle is the way. So there's a recommendation for some of you in case. Coming to the realm of your mind, the words, your headspace. Two of Swords is a very natural human response to experiencing the moon. I'm overwhelmed. This is too much. I don't know what to do. I'm totally baffled. So I'm just going to kind of close my eyes and ears because I can't even, I don't know what to do. I'm not going to do anything. La 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 la, I don't hear you. It's that kind of vibe. Don't just like Spirit is saying, like, don't like batten down the hatches and wait for this to pass. You can do that. It's a thing that we can do. We can be in a bad mood and I don't know why, and we can just like let the storm pass, and we can also reflect on the nature of the storm and the effect that it's having on the landscape. And we may be able to collect some rainwater. We may be able to ground an electrical charge. We can get something from being present with the storm, being present with the emotion, being present with the mystery, being present with the unknown. I don't know what next step to take. I'm completely confused. Okay, let's be there. Let's be right there. Let's not be like pathologically ever looking for the next step. This is here because this is the medicine for now. So be here now. Open up. What are you noticing? That's the other thing Spirit is saying is, the moon is connected to our gut, to our intuition, to illogical and irrational answers that still ring as true as if we were looking at the sun card. So you have a dream, or you have a funny feeling about, you get a funny, shitty little intuition about a partner. And it's like, I have no reason to feel this, but something's there. And then you go looking and then you find out that lots of us have been through this, right? And it's like, damn, everything looked right, but something was wrong. If you are in that state, be with it. I'm not telling you that anything is necessarily wrong, but I'm telling you, if you have a funny feeling, just because you don't have facts for it, you don't need to go run and make a move on that funny feeling you have and like act upon it. And you also don't need to run the other direction from it. It's kind of just like, oh, that's there right now. That's interesting. Okay, let me watch it and notice if it changes shape as I observe it or if it stays the same. That's what Spirit is saying. Are any of my Geminis resonating with this so far? This is like a very kind of a spiritual reading to give to an air sign. Okay. Again, connected to the moon and even connected to this Four of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. In the emotional or feeling realm, we have the Four of Cups. There's insecurity, there's doubt, there's a fear of not getting what you want, a fear of something not being enough, perhaps even yourself not being enough, and needing to be with that. Four of Cups indicates that we might be expecting things to go this one certain way, and if it doesn't go that way, then like, I don't want it, period. But your blessing may be coming in a kind of surprising fashion this week, and you want to be open and available for that. So the more that you're like this, or the more that you are looking in someone else's bowl, not to check if they have enough, but to see if you have more or less than they do, you're going to end up with the short end of the stick. You will end up with the long end of the stick if you are willing to be present and notice and not reject what is happening in the now. I know that that's like a tall order, right? Sometimes right now is giving bitter medicine. I hate this job, or this partner is being really irritating, or I really got to get out of this town, or whatever it is. And I am in this town right now, or around this person right now that is giving me this bitter medicine. What is this showing me? What is this letting me know? How can I, when I reflect in myself, what do I find? Is there this in this person that is rejecting me or making me feel unseen? Is there an aspect of myself where I have rejected myself, or where I do not see myself, or where the behavior of this person rhymes with the behavior of like a caretaker? And maybe I'm playing out some old scenarios that, unconscious. Do you know what I'm talking about? This is pretty fucking deep, Gemini. You have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to be a witness this week to the way that you frighten and limit yourself. And you can change the way that you approach your dragon. So, Spirit is saying, like, the Five of Wands would indicate that it's time to throw your hat in the ring. If you've been holding back, if you've been hiding, if you don't think you can, you have what it takes. So for those of you for whom that resonates, I want you to really fucking take that and integrate that. You have what it takes. You don't have to be perfect. You perfect or you improve by training, by going out and, like smacking your wand up against somebody else's. That's where you find out where you are, right? Ranked. And that's how you get better. Okay? You don't get any better sitting in your room hitting the tennis ball up against the wall. You get better by finding somebody to go and play with, right? And ideally, somebody a little better than you, because then that brings you up to their level. So if you are looking around at other people thinking like, why do they have it like that? Or how are they this good at that? Or etc. Instead of making that a bad thing, let that be the invitation that it is. And that's something that Spirit is saying is like, it sounds simple, but lucky that you're coming in as the King of Swords, because something the King of Swords does have is the ability to zoom out, the ability to take the kind of higher perspective and say, okay, wow, yeah, my doubts or my fears or my insecurities are really up for me this week. Is there a way I can take a different perspective about that and say that the universe is nodding at me like, you're ready for this? This is coming up because you are ready to change the way that you handle this. You're ready to shift old, deep, unconscious patterns and move in a direction that feels more fucking life-giving. And that's something that I'm fucking hearing. So it's like going from feeling drained or stuck or still or like stilted to motion. So your self-doubt is not your enemy. Your other doubt is not your enemy. You have what it takes. And when fear shows up, invite it in and have a conversation. Don't slam the door in its face and be like, no, 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 I'm not scared. I'm fine. I'm good. Everything's fine. Invite your doubt or insecurity in and have a conversation. Be with it. Be with it and notice again if it changes shape as you sit and observe and talk with it. Okay? Okay. Pretty cool advice, Gemini. That's the fun thing about talking with Spirit, is sometimes I'm like, damn, y'all be dropping gems that like I need to hold on and keep, even if I'm not a Gemini person. I hope that that helps, Gemini. And if any of that rings for you or resonates or brings up questions or stories, please share them with me. I would love, love, love to hear. Okay, now let's move on to Cardinal Water Cancer. Cancer Sun, Moon, Rising, and Stellium people. I want to see, Spirit, how is Cancer's week looking? What is the kind of overall energy that Cancer is experiencing this week? Great. I'll pick up and show you everything in just a second, Cancer. First, we need to see your persona card. What kind of personality, what kind of air is Cancer showing up with this week? Wow, gorgeous. Very much in your element. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, Spirit, and when it comes to Cancer, people associated with the sign of Cancer, how is their money, their budget? Wow, gorgeous. Okay. And next, Spirit, I want to look at their thoughts, their headspace, quality of their words, messages, conversations. Spirit is playing a Fleetwood Mac song for me. They're saying go your own way. You know what you're doing. You can go your own way. Okay, Spirit, what about when it comes to relationships, feelings, love? What about the realm of cups for Cancer, Spirit? What is showing up for them? What do they need to know for their highest good? Okay, you can go your own way. My goodness. Okay. And finally, Spirit, what about their fire, their spirit, their energy? How is it showing up and how is it being directed this week? What does Cancer need to know about the realm of wands for their highest good? You are expanding, Cancer, and it sounds funny to say, but there's, before you expand, it's like you go within. So let's talk about it. Your overall energy and theme for this week, the Hermit, you can go your own way. And your persona card, you are showing up in your element and at the top of your game. King of Cups, King of Water. You've heard me say it before. I'm going to say it again. Nothing to do with sex and gender when you come through as a king or queen. Everything to do with personality and kind of station in life, how you show up, how other people see you. So a King of Cups is like the ultimate counselor, the ultimate emotional mentor, the one who can help you sort through emotions and really understand where everybody is coming from, because the king is able to put themselves in their place and really like, oh, I get it, you know, from the really great wonderful person, oh, I totally see how you did that, to really terrible people, oh, I can see how you got there, you know what I'm saying? And they are not thrown off in, no matter the height of the waves. The king cup stays totally level because they've achieved that level of emotional mastery. They've explored their depths, is the thing that Spirit is very specifically saying. So when the depths rise up or they are dropped into the depths, they are not out of their depth, because it's like, bitch, I'm depthless. I'm boundless, okay? So what do these two have in common? They know themselves. The hermit follows their own path. The hermit's not worried about whether anybody else gets it or not. And the same is true for a king. You know what I mean? A king is like, I'm doing it my way. That's how I have my own kingdom, is because like I want to do it like this. These are the rules of my life. Seek your own inner wisdom this week, particularly if you are going through something emotional, like if you need counsel, it feels like that type of counsel is very much available to you with the King of Cups showing up. And you may be the own wise counsel that you need. Like the way that you are able to be that shoulder to cry on for other friends. Perhaps you need to like turn on the little camera on your phone and have a little conversation with yourself and help yourself sort through some things. I feel like, again, it's like it feels like you are expanding, and part of expanding also has to do with letting go of things that are of the past. They're like, that was the old way. Now that I know this truth about myself, now that I've taken this hermit lantern down inside and I know why, now I know why I do this, or now I know why I was addicted to that, or why I did so much of this. And now I'm ready to let this go, let that go. I see a lot of that here, and it seems to be bringing some bounty. So let's talk about that bounty. Ten of Pentacles, beautiful card, especially for around the holidays. Ten of Pentacles is more than enough resources, not just for yourself, but for the people around you that you love, family, friends, community, etc. Ten of Pentacles is also tradition. So, of course, some of you might be doing some lovely family traditions around this time of year and being with the people that you love the most, or at the very least, being with them energetically and emotionally, thinking of them, invoking their presence. Ten of Pentacles is a wonderful card if you're concerned about like whether things are going to be okay, whether you're secure, whether you're safe, whether you're protected, whether your home is protected and safe. I feel a big yes, very big yes. Now, looking at your headspace, and we are going to bring it right up along your heart space because they have a lot in common. Don't got to be a tarot reader to see some commonalities in this, right? Walking away in the night, turning your back on somewhere that you've held a lot or cultivated a great deal. So, Seven of Swords, headspace. Are you feeling guilt or shame or regret around having to leave an old habit or an old way of being, or perhaps even old friendships or communications that you used to have behind? You may need to remove yourself from a battle and go your own way. Only you will know, Cancer. You're the hermit. What does the light inside of you tell you to do? Where does it tell you to go? If it tells you that a phase of your life is over and it's time to put that away and walk away, then you can trust yourself. And if it's telling you that, you know what, I can continue forward on the same path, but not if I hold on to this habit or this way of thinking, leave it behind. Be conscious about it. Probably ritualize that shit. Again, it's winter. It's the season where we can very consciously tap into clearing away, dying off, letting the leaves of our old self fall away so that in spring something new can grow. Being very present with the fact that, like, as we change, as we molt, our old way of being, if properly recycled, can nourish the growth, right? But if we wrap it up in plastic and try to stick it in the back of the closet and like hope nobody finds out about it, it doesn't have the chance to nourish the ground. No, instead it's just a rotten, stinking mess in the back of like our emotional closet. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that is inside of us that needs to go has to be just like in real life. You know, we got to separate the glass from the plastic from the whatever. It's like some stuff needs to be disposed of properly. Okay, I'm leaving behind this habit. How can I say goodbye to it? How can I, do I need to clear away the paraphernalia? Whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. Now, put that, what's on your mind, right next to what is in your heart. Eight of Cups says leaving old habits, relationships, ways of being behind that no longer nurture my growth. That, as a matter of fact, now when I sip from those cups that used to be, like Alice in Wonderland where she would grow giant, it's like now I'm drinking ones that make me grow small. I'm actually decreasing in my growth or slowing down or stagnating as opposed to moving forward when I engage with this habit or this relationship or this whatever. And Eight of Cups is melancholy because it's like, but I love this. But this at one point was like the most important thing to me, or the thing that I wanted the most. And now it's the thing that is hindering and hampering me being my whole ass self. Fuck. So we're not going to underestimate or bypass that it takes a tremendous amount of strength, which is the major arcana card that Eight of Cups is the outgrowth of. All minor arcana cards are related to like their numerical parent in the major arcana, right? And Eight of Cups is strength. Nothing takes more strength than walking away from something that we once deeply loved and that we felt inextricably tied to. But now it's like, well, bitch, I got to extricate myself. Spirit is saying for some of you, it's like a departure from a belief system, even like a belief system, a family, a church, that kind of thing, where it's like, I loved this. I don't want to go without this. I don't know what's on the other side of walking away from this. That's the Eight of Cups, But what is on the other side is ever so much better and more important and more glorious than the finite old dregs. That's the word Spirit's using, the dregs in the bottom of those cups. So, for those of you that are thinking about moving away from something or someone and this is resonating, let that help you know that you are on path. And if there are some of you that have been considering it, but you're a little too scared and you're not ready, I want to tell you that there's nothing wrong with not being ready. And actually, you shouldn't do anything as big and important as an Eight of Cups moment until you're like, you know what? Yes, I really, really know with a capital K. Before you know with a capital K, don't do shit, because then you're just going to end up running back and forth and looking over your shoulder and it's going to be a whole thing. So if you are not sure and you're like, God, I think I want to move away from this, but I'm not sure at all, the best thing that you can do is be really conscious as you're doing the thing. It's like, okay, if I really want to stop drinking, or I really want to stop eating in this particular way, or I really don't think this person is good for me, whatever, really be super fucking present as you have that drink or eat that food or spend time with that person, and be super conscious of like, how is this making me feel? Oh, like, okay, my stomach is starting to hurt, but I keep drinking. Okay, I'm going to keep drinking. Wow, it really hurts now, or whatever. Be really conscious and be with it. And just notice. And that will, Spirit is like, that will hurry along the process of knowing if this is for me or this is not for me by being really fucking present, by being the opposite of avoidant. Okay? Be with it. See, does it still feel good? Does it still help me grow? That will help you know with a capital K which thing you need to do. Okay? But regardless, I see most of you moving toward things that make you feel healthier, that help you feel more like yourself. You have the means, like you have the emotional maturity and an emotional resource inside of you to be able to make this change. And it creates expansion. It opens new pathways that are not available until we fucking walk. And like they said, I don't know what's on the other side. I don't know what's down here. I'm walking away from the moonlight and into further, deeper darkness. What's on the other side? New paths that aren't available until we turn our back on the old one for good. So this guy's getting offered a whole ass crown. He's saying, please take this, anything. Go on this adventure for me. Go get this for me and I'll give you my whole world. Go on this adventure. And Three of Wands says your ships are coming in or they're going out and you're hopping on. So what is opening up in your life, Cancer? Or if you don't know yet, what can you imagine would open up for you if you let go of things that were causing you grief, shame, regret that may be better left in the past? Just things to consider. It looks like you will find your way. I don't feel worried about you. How's that sit on you, Cancer? How's that settle in your heart? What are you thinking? I've got Moon in Cancer, so I'm paying particular attention. Very curious, and if you ever want to share, I always want to hear. Let me know. Comments below or social media, whatever. Emails, DMs, all the things. I hope that helps. Okay. Now, let's talk to my Leo friends and family, my fixed fire folks. Leo Sun, Leo Moon, Leo Rising and Dominant People Spirit. I want to know what's up for Leo this week. What is the overall energy and vibe showing up for Leo this week? Okay. I will pick up and show you everything in just a second, Leo. We got to see what is your persona card. Spirit, we want to know how are Leo people themselves showing up this week? What kind of element? How are they interacting with this overall energy? Okay. Ready to make changes. That's what I'm hearing. Okay. I'm hearing also the phrase new way of life. Okay. New way of life. We'll get into it. First, Spirit, I want to look at money, budget, work, projects, and resources for Leo people. Spirit, what do Leo people need to know? Okay. Interesting, interesting. What about the headspace, Spirit? The mind, communications, words and thoughts. What's going on in the communications realm this week for Leo? Okay. And how about emotionally, in the realm of the heart, in the realm of relationships? What's happening for Leo, Spirit? What does Leo need to know for their highest good when it comes to love? Okay. And finally, Spirit, what about Leo's own element? What about fire? How is their will, their spirit, their creativity showing up? Woo! Yup. Making some changes. Okay. So, first of all, overall theme and energy for you this week, Leo, the Wheel of Fortune. The wheel is turning. Seasons change. It's winter solstice. Hello. New cycle. Ending of an old one, beginning of a new one. And as I said, you showing up as the Knight of Swords are ready to make a change. Knights are on horseback because they're on their way somewhere. They're in transition. They're not there yet. They're not the page. They haven't just gotten the call. And they're not the queen or king already sitting where they're supposed to be. They are in transit. You are moving toward. And the Wheel of Fortune says, you know, the wheel is turning and Spirit is drawing my eye to these scissors and to these two swords. So it makes sense to me that some of you are cutting away things that are a little bit of a drag. That's just what I'm hearing, like the way we talk about lift and drag when it comes to something being able to soar. So cutting what is bringing drag, maybe sending out some messages or cutting off certain people and things because it's like, okay, this is not making things clearer. And it feels like you are definitely seeking clarity, and you're even willing to maybe get into a little bit of a clash in order to understand what's really going on. Huh. Okay. Spirit is saying it's a little bit of a climb. Are you down? Are you down for a little bit of a climb to get what it is that you want? You know, again, Knight of Swords is in transition. They're in transit. They're on their way somewhere. Are you down for that? Because what you can get looks juicy and worth celebrating, and it will challenge you. That's just what I'm hearing. It will challenge you. Are you willing to be challenged? Are you willing to accept a challenge and be like, hell yeah, I'm ready? Hell yeah, if I can get what I want, I'm ready to be challenged for that. I'll climb to get to the top of this particular mountain that I'm seeking. Okay. When we look at money, resources, job prospects, etc., Six of Pentacles, looking good, generosity given and received, circular economy. If I need it, it's available for me. If somebody else needs it and I have it, I give generously. Big Leo vibes. Leo tends to be a very generous person, and I feel like that generosity gets returned. So, um, give what you are able and desire to give just as usual. Don't feel like I have to belabor that with Leo because that's Leo's way. It will come back around, is what I'm hearing. So some of you may have given generously in the past, and this week you experience it coming back around. And for others of you, it may be that it is requested of you. And it's like, if you have it, go ahead and give it. It feels like it will be worth it. It feels like it will come back around. So I think that you are facing some self doubt this week. A little bit of like, ooh, Spirit is saying one of the games Leo likes to play with them. We're just going to leave that right there. One of the games that Leo likes to play with themselves is, oh, it's not perfect yet. Or, oh, I'll do it when. I'll do it when. Like, just a little, no, like, nobody can see me until I'm at my dream body. Or, no, I can't put out that project until it's like ruthlessly edited into perfection. And, like, well, I can't start because it's not great. And it's like, yeah, but starting and doing is what makes things great. You know what I'm saying? So come in over to your headspace. Eight of Swords says you're in your head this week, a little bit. There's the threat of putting all of your doubts and worries and fears in front of you and using them as like a helpful little guardrail to keep you from getting where you want to go. And when everything else here says, like, oh, damn, you could really get where you want to go and with speed, because the Knight of Swords is very speedy. Now, you do have to be aware that, like, there can be impatience in that. And we want to be speedy, but we don't want to be impatient. And Leos can be a little impatient. I'm a Leo rising. Don't shoot the messenger. Leo, we can be a little bit impatient sometimes and really want what we want. And we also want everybody to think like, oh my God, I'm amazing. I'm really great at what I do. I'm never sick. I'm never sad. I'm never depressed. I'm never insecure. And then we end up hiding such a big part of ourselves from people when we do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Spirit is saying, don't hold something so beautiful back from the world because you don't think it's perfect yet, or you haven't gotten it where you want to get yet. You're still in transit. That's fine. It's amazing. So Spirit is I'm curious if any of you Leos have Aries placements, because they're saying something, they're giving me a quote that they brought up for Aries, which is, if you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid, i.e., oh, okay, and this is a quote from one of my favorite Stoic philosophers. His name is Epictetus, which is a very funny name. letting go of the need to be perfect or correct or always right or always the best will give you a lot more latitude to have fun and to figure out and to bump into stuff. If you're not allowed to bump into stuff, you can't play pin the tail on the donkey. You know what I'm saying? Spirit's funny, but it's like if you want to play, it like you got to bump into some stuff. You got to have moments where it's like, oh, that wasn't my best effort, or like, ugh, I thought that was going to turn out so great, and then it turned out like this instead. That's how we learn. That's how we improve. So don't disallow yourself from learning just because you don't want to go through like the awkward phase. Okay. Awkward phase precedes the awesome phase. That's what Spirit is saying. That is so cheesy. Awkward phase precedes the awesome phase. Awesome phase. When it comes to the emotional realm, Three of Cups, gatherings, friends, fun, raising glasses, having parties, dancing around. The other thing about the Three of Cups is, hey, 3 cups, 3 fates. Who could you get together with and make some magic? There might be really good opportunities to collaborate, to share, to help each other move around the wheel, to plan together. I mean, we even have 2 people sitting on in this particular version of the Knight of Swords because they're the twins, Castor and Pollux. Don't hold yourself back. As a matter of fact, put your heads together. And maybe that is a secret ingredient, is like a little bit of collaboration, because maybe you've been thinking of yourself as, I'm one against all these other people who are doing these other things, when it's like, oh, I'm one of a group of people, like we're all trying to do this thing, or we're all interested in this thing. That doesn't make us opponents. That makes us, collaborators or colleagues or whatever. I feel like having a little bit more of that spirit could do you good. The Knight of Swords really wants to be the fucking best, and he wants to be the best right fucking now. So that could lead to some conflict. That could lead to a little bit of a fucking wand measuring contest, if you get my drift. I'm a classy lady, so I'm not going to say dick measuring contest, okay? If something or someone wants to draw you into a dick measuring contest, you have better ways to spend your time and to use your wand. You might be I would say, like, don't be defensive this week. It's like they're giving me defensive vibes, but it feels like that's not the fucking move. That's not the move. It's like, we could do this together. We could do this together. I'm not like against these people. They've got something, I've got something else. Okay. So if you're suffering from comparison, which it feels like some of you are, like, let that shit go. All that shit is doing is keeping you held back when you've got fucking places you want to go. And like, you wanted to be there yesterday, and spirit and the world is conspiring in your favor. The world is always conspiring to move us forward. It is always spinning. We are always evolving. We are always growing. So if you want to fight something, if you want to, okay, this is what I'm hearing very nice and clear. If you want to fight something, fight for, not against. Go in support of a cause, not against this other cause. I will fight for this organization or principle, not fight against this organization or this principle. You know what I'm talking about? That's going to do a lot more to stoke your inner fires and keep them growing, rather than put them out with like burnout. You know what I'm talking about? Okay. You let me know, Leo. I'm very curious. I would love to hear if any of this is resonating, or if it brought up questions or stories. I'd love to hear. Please let me know. I really hope that this helps you have a better week, Leo. Things have the strong potential to change. Strong potential to change. Get out of your head and share. Okay. Now, let's move on to Virgo. Mutable Earth. Spirit. Want to look at what kind of energy, what kind of theme is showing up for Virgo this week? What kind of energy are they encountering? Okay. And how are they themselves showing up? Earth, air, fire, water, page, knight, queen, king. How is Virgo showing up, Spirit? And what do you want to share with them for their highest good about the way that they are coming through? Okay. What about their money? When it comes to money, work, budgets, jobs, career and projects, Spirit. When it comes to Virgo's own element, what's showing up for them this week? Nice. Okay. And what about their headspace? The quality of their thoughts and conversations for Virgo. Sun, Virgo moon, Virgo rising. Okay. And what about emotions, feelings, relationships? When it comes to Virgo, Virgo sun, Virgo moon, Virgo rising and dominant people. What's showing up, Virgo people, in the realm of the heart? Okay. And finally, what about their energy, spirit, their fire, creativity, willpower? How is Virgo's fire showing up this week? Gorgeous. Sometimes the best move is no move. That's the first thing that Spirit is saying, Virgo. So, overall energy and theme for you this week, the Hanged Man. Surrender that shit. Surrender that shit. That shit that you can't control, surrender that shit. That shit that you can't figure out the solution to right in this moment, surrender that shit. Open your funnel. We'll talk about it. Okay, I'm going to make that make sense. Well, I can't promise that, but we're going to talk about that in just a second. Your persona card, Knight of Wands, hot pursuit. In hot pursuit. Knights are in transit. They are not at their destination yet, and they're not at the starting point. They are in media res, is what Spirit is saying, in the middle of the action. Some of you are writers or editors and publishers, and that's why Spirit is using en media res. In the middle of the action. You are on your way somewhere. You are in passionate pursuit. Something you really care about, something that sets your heart on fire. Spirit is saying some of you even just dream of like going home or getting to this next station in life. And Spirit is like, stay, you're hot on the trail. Okay. Knight of Wands says you're hot on the trail this week. Now, there's a little bit of a difference. There's a little bit of a dissonance between the hanged man, the hanged one, and the Knight of Wands, because the hanged one says, let go, let God. And the Knight of Wands says, let go, let me. Like, shut the fuck up, I'm going. Like, so your passion, your fire, your ability to make change and to transition, to move from one point to the next is highly available. And ask yourself before you go, what do you want to surrender? There's a new perspective available that comes with kind of like taking your hands off and saying, okay, let's just step back and let this thing ride and see what happens. There are some people, it feels like there's a couple of relationships or maybe just one relationship in your life where there's a little bit of like, there's no winning with this person. That's just what I'm hearing, Virgo. If you know, these are general readings, so if something doesn't resonate with you, you don't need to make it resonate. This will apply for some Virgos. Spirit, I'm an intuitive reader, so whatever Spirit shares with me is what I share with you. Okay. And sometimes Spirit might be talking to some other Virgo than you because there's something really important coming through for them. All right. But Regardless, it feels like for some of you, there is a situation where it's like, I can't win with this person. I've really put in as much, like I've put everything into this. I've put my whole heart and soul into this person or this phase of life. And ultimately, I'm going to end up walking away. And Spirit is using a phrase, you can't take it with you. And they don't mean that in a doom and gloom way. It's like relationships in life, right? There's nothing we can take with us. And yet, whenever we move through and are finished with another relationship in our life, there is so much that we do take with us, right? It's just that those things are like ephemeral, intangible things. Like, wow, I became more compassionate, or I became smarter, or I became wittier by being with that person, or whatever it is. And I have to let go of maybe expectations I had for them. It's like, oh, they're not going to be my life partner. It was nice while it lasted. I've got what I learned, but also I left so much behind. Eight of Cups is a melancholy card. Emotionally this week, it feels like you are releasing, and the Hanged One would agree. I'm letting this go. Maybe I used to have this desire or this vision or this concept of how it was going to be, and I'm realizing that that is causing me more harm than good, because it's hurting me that I keep expecting this person, this parent, this partner, this friend, whatever, to show up in a different way, but they continue to show up as themselves. They continue to be who they have told me and proved to me many times that they are. Okay, now it's my decision to let go of hoping they'll be different. Very direct, very clear message that they're sharing. And I relate and understand for those of you that might be resonating with that. It's a difficult thing to outgrow things and people and concepts, and it is one of the best things that can happen to you. And that's what Spirit is saying. So, speaking of growing, coming over here to money, budgets, projects, Eight of Pentacles. Where does a Virgo shine? A Virgo shines when they are putting their head down and working on the thing that they're passionate about, their craft or their skill or their project that they really love. Eight of Pentacles says, you are growing your skills and your money this week. Practice makes, not perfect, but practice makes progress. Okay? Let's say that, Virgo. Doing your practice could create some major progress this week. Eight of Pentacles is a high card. That is right on the verge of the Nine, which is self-employed, totally self-sufficient, independently wealthy is another phrase that Spirit is using. It's right on the verge of like independently wealthy, and then the Ten of Pentacles, which is like, I've got enough for everyone around me. So there is some project or there is some skill or some craft that you have a lot of passion and heart for. If you are willing to put in the work this week, Eight of Pentacles, then you can get Six of Wands, a feeling of victory, a feeling of, hey, that thing that I've been chasing and desiring, and to know that like I'm doing the right thing, I'm moving in the right direction. Here's my little win. Here's my little trophy. Here's the little bit of notice that I'm getting and a little bit of praise that I'm getting. So promotion, recognition, sharing publicly. Six of Wands, allowing people to see what it is that you've been working on and get applause for it. Looks really fucking wonderful. So when we talked about there may be a person or a dynamic that you have to kind of resign yourself, that there's no winning with this and I'm just going to walk away. Along with the Eight of Cups, in the mental realm, you have the Five of Swords, like a no-win situation. It's like, feels like harsh words back and forth, feels like they don't understand you, you don't understand them, no harm, no foul. I'm going to go ahead and like detach from this. That's just what it feels like. It feels like the best thing to do. Let go, let God, surrender that shit. You know what? You're right. Okay, bye. Like, rather than stay here and fight it out, I've got more important things to do and more important places to go. And I might not even have to fucking move. to get there. I might actually just have to surrender wanting my mother or my father to act a certain way or my partner to do this or that and just be like, okay, that shit is never going to happen. What happens inside of me and what becomes possible for me if I resign myself to that's never going to happen? New things open up for me. That's just what I'm hearing. So, Hanged One says, let it go, do nothing, don't respond. Let people spin their wheels is another thing that I'm hearing. Like, let people worry, let people wonder. I don't know, Virgo. You tell me. Do you know what this is? Did any of y'all know what this is? I'd be very, very curious because this is a very interesting set of cards. Wins are available as long as you're not going after the wrong wins. Because Five of Swords is like a no win. And that's what Spirit is saying is like, you'll know which things and areas of your life make you feel like, oh wow, growth is happening and expansion is happening. And which ones when it's like, anytime I try to go there or sip from that cup, I just feel smaller and shittier. Then it's not that. Then it's not that. Where is your growth and excitement and fire? Go in that direction. Move away from the old bullshit and toward things that feel like they give you life. Okay? Okay. I hope that helps, Virgo. Do let me know if y'all know what this is or if you can give me any insight into like this interesting dynamic that's showing up here. Okay. Now, let's move on to Libra. Libra people, my cardinal air friends, family, and folks. Libra sun, Libra moon, Libra rising and dominant folks. Spirit, I want to know, what is the overall theme or energy for Libra this week? Interesting. Okay. I'll pick up and show you everything in just a sec, Libra. But first, we got to pull your persona card. Spirit, how is Libra themselves showing up and interacting with this energy? Love to see it. Okay. And what about money, work, resources, jobs, Spirit for Libra? What's showing up for them this week? Wow. Love to see it. Okay. And Spirit, what about the realm of thoughts, words, communications for Libra? Libra sun, Libra moon, Libra rising. What do they need to know about the realm of thoughts this week? What is the nature of their conversations or their internal monologue this week, Spirit? What does Libra need to know for their highest good? Okay. And what about the heart space, Spirit, in the realm of relationships, feelings, and the heart? What does Libra need to know this week? Okay. And finally, what about Libra's fire? Their will, their creativity, their spirit. How is Libra using and feeling their own heat this week? Okay. Libra, it feels like this week you are a seeker. So you show up as the Page of Wands, inspired, a beginner, like a student, an adept, and the Page of Wands themselves especially is an adventurer. They're not waiting. This version of the Page of Wands is actually en route already, right? Normally we see the Knights en route, but the Page of Wands is more excited even than your average page. They've got a message and they want to tell the whole world. Now, is that you, Libra? Do you have a passionate message, a light inside that you want to share with the whole world? Do you have some sacred or secret knowledge that you wish to impart or learn? The Hierophant is the overall energy and theme for you this week. So, the powers that be, institutions, religions, corporations, what are the rules of your life? It feels like, wow, Spirit is saying like you need to break and remake some of the rules of your life this week, as in you find out that some of the rules that maybe are even unconscious. Wow, Spirit is saying, the Hierophant hierarchy, right? Hierophant, hierarchy. The Hierophant can represent traditions and ways of being and sacred knowledge that are just how our parents taught us to be. And sometimes there are certain ways that we are taught to be, or certain beliefs that are instilled in us that turn out to be very self destructive and heartbreaking. Three of Swords is the card sitting in the position of your headspace. I'm going right to the static, okay? You got a pretty good reading here, Libra, but we're going right to the static. How do you break your own heart? What kind of words do you use against yourself? Like, and are they your words or are they someone else's? Are they passed down? And if so, do you want to break that rule? Do you want to break that agreement? Like, you know what? I am no longer operating under that hierarchy. Maybe you're no longer a member of that religion. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe you disagree with this social mores or this social order and you want to break free from it, and you recognize ways that you've been kind of keeping yourself, betraying yourself. That's how I'm going to put it, because that's what I'm hearing. Ways in which you may have been betraying yourself. Maybe you have kept part of yourself secret or hidden because you didn't think that other people would like it. Maybe you've been avoiding a confrontation or competition or a battle because you don't want to be that person, but you have to be that person in order to get what you want. If that rings true for you, then take heed. That's just what I'm hearing. The wisdom, the upgrade, the sacred knowledge is available to you if you seek it. When it comes to money, budgets, projects, resources, ooh, Libra. Ace of Pentacles, a gift, an opportunity, an invitation, a seed of money that if you take care of it, if you pay attention to it, if you tend to it, it can grow. The seed that can become the orchard if you are willing to put in the work, and no other way but that. Because the Ace of Pentacles is a golden opportunity, not a silver platter. Okay? What is the golden opportunity? What is it that you want to seize? What is it that you want to take somewhere? I see you putting yourself out there. Seven of Wands, having the higher ground, standing up and defending your belief or your passion or your spirit, your goal, your idea. Don't hold back. Put yourself out there. And for some of you, you are a carrier of sacred wisdom or sacred knowledge. And maybe you're a little afraid of like competing again or whatever. Go ahead and put yourself out there. What you have stands up to what other people have at the very least. Okay? Feels like, yep, the ability to come out on top comes when you're willing to be curious, adventurous, brave. Really brave. Three of Swords, what they're telling me is like there's the threat or the concern of like breaking your own heart just so that you don't have to, like, in your own mind it's like it's going to get broken worse if I dream that this thing could really happen for me. So I better break my own heart because it's going to hurt so much more if the world breaks it. And Spirit's like, actually fucking no. Actually no. And actually this week you should dream. Six of Cups. Six of Cups is, in the classic Rider-Waite version of the card, we see two children and they're exchanging cups with flowers in them. Six of Cups says, be innocent, be playful, be childlike. Take care of and reflect on your inner child and maybe send them a message. There may be a version of yourself, your 13-year-old self, your 6-year-old self, that you need to say, hey, I know that you're getting bullied in school right now for being so weird and being so, sensitive and being so creative, or fill in the blank. But I want to tell you that I think you're amazing. And I never want you to stop being this weird and this creative. I think it's so brave and I think it's so cool. And one day we're going to get to do X, Y, and Z, and we're going to this, that, and the other thing. And you need to reach out to where your heart was first broken and send it love. Time is a flat circle. The shit works. Try it. See if some weird, funky shit don't happen, and then you end up encountering some sacred wisdom, or, you know, your heart breaks, but it breaks fucking open. And suddenly a way of being or thinking that wasn't available to you for a very long time, maybe since you were 13 or since you were 6, because you had to put away the little weirdo, or put away the little creative, or put away the little star. And that gets to come out again when you break your heart open the right way. Not trying to keep it hidden, but trying to open it up and share more of it with the world. How about that? Are you willing to share more of yourself and your heart with the world? Are you ready to risk it for this biscuit? I say do it, but I'm biased. Let me know, Libra. Is this making sense for you? Is any of that resonating with you? Are you seeking to become a teacher or a student of something significant? Keep a beginner's mind. Revisit the past to get to a new future. That's what I'm hearing. That's the title of your fucking reading right there. Thanks, Spirit. Okay. Let me know, Libra. I really hope this is helpful. And if it brought anything up for you, I would love to hear about it. And now, let's move on to my fixed water family. My Scorpio people. Scorpio, sun, moon, rising. Welcome. Let us see, what is the overall energy and theme showing up for Scorpio this week, Spirit? What do they need to know for their highest good? Okay. And how is Scorpio themselves showing up? What kind of persona are they showing up as this week? And what do they need to know about it for their highest good, Spirit? Page, Knight, King, Queen, Earth, Air, Fire, Water. What does Scorpio need to know as they show up this week? Wow, that's a really interesting combination. Huh, okay, we'll talk about it in just a second. Okay, Scorpio, when it comes to money, skills, work, budget, love to see it. And what about their headspace, spirit? What about the mind? How is Scorpio's realm of thoughts, words? Okay. And what about their heart, their emotions, their relationships, spirit? I want to tune in for Scorpio in the realm of the heart. Okay. And finally, what about their fire, their will, their spirit, their creativity? How is Scorpio's fire showing up this week? That's interesting. As I pull this card, Spirit is saying Aries, Aries, Aries. So I'm curious if any of you are either dealing with an Aries, or some of you might have like Aries placements, like, oh, Aries sun, Aries moon, Aries, whatever. Might want to check out that reading. Now, what's really interesting is I think one other sign got this exact combination of your overall energy and your persona card. So I'd be curious, like, oh, but I can't remember. Is like, was it Virgo? Whatever. If you haven't already listened to your sun, moon, and rising, you might want to check some other ones, because if you got this exact same combination for one of your other signs, Spirit is really doubling down hard. So, Scorpio, your overall energy and theme for this week, the Hanged One. And how you are showing up, your persona card, the Knight of Swords. So, really interesting combination, because the Hanged One says, let go. Surrender that shit. You're in suspended animation right now. You're in a little bit of limbo. So you might be feeling like, oh my God, I need to rush forward. I need to cut through the shit. I need to get where I'm going, and I need to get there fucking fast. Knight of Swords energy can be a little impatient, can be a little bit impetuous, like moving sooner than it needs to, especially in like defense is what I'm hearing this week. So some of you might be really quick to defend yourself, or quick to want to like cut someone off or whatever, because like perceived slight or whatever. Maybe actual real slight. Okay. What I feel is don't close off. Maybe you do need to cut someone off. Maybe you will end up cutting someone off. But what I would say is don't close off like prematurely or like preemptively. Like, oh, I'm getting a weird vibe. I'm going to close off. I feel like let go, let God with the hanged one being there. It's like, oh, okay, so the world has turned me upside down. I'm hanging from my feet and looking at the world from a whole new perspective. I could thrash and scream and freak out because I'm hanging from my feet from a tree. Very natural, understandable human response. But it's not the response that is going to most likely get me out of trouble. So instead of flailing and rushing to conclusions like I want to, I'm actually going to take a really deep breath and be like, huh, so this is what's happening. Okay. How can I create space between me and my response? You know, like rather than somebody says something and I just react, like, and I just blurt something back out, you know, you hurt my feelings, blah, like I just say the worst thing I could think of to you, right? That's Knight of Swords-ish. I feel like, yeah, I'm hearing it's like there's more information yet to come. So you don't want to rush or jump or leap to any conclusions this week. Let go, let God, surrender that shit. A new perspective is going to be becoming available. So don't rush to judgment. Okay. Be open. When we look at money, work, resources, projects, things look good, full of potential. Ace of Pentacles can represent some of you might be getting a job offer. Some of you might be getting like a nice little holiday bonus or like a gift of some cash. And it's like, oh, a nice little chunk of cash. What will I do with this? And the Ace of Pentacles says, use it wisely. So, you know, maybe is there a way that I can invest this money? Sure, maybe you do investments, or maybe it's like, oh, you know, I could use this money to buy myself something and then it's gone and I have a thing. Or maybe I want to use this money and put it toward this Skillshare class because I've always wanted to learn how to sew, or I've always wanted to learn how to play the banjo, or whatever the fuck. And if I do that, then I'll have a thing that, you know, I'll always have no matter where I am, right? Versus an object. Just a thought, just a comparison, just a metaphor. What do you want to invest in? A skill, a craft, an experience for the future? Like, oh, okay, I'm going to take this, you know, $200 that somebody gave me and I'm going to save it because I really want to go to fucking Ireland or whatever. So I'm throwing that in the Ireland fund, right? Money looks good. Lots of growth potential. Coming over to the realm of your headspace. Two of Swords, a little bit stuck in your head. And, you know, between this and the Knight of Swords, it's like, again, there's like an urge to just come up with whatever is the right answer so you can be done thinking about it. And you're getting a lot of like, breathe and it's like stay present and detach. Like, okay, this is what's happening right now. Like, I'm not, you know, what Spirit is showing me is like, I'm wanting a text or a call from this person and it's not coming and it's not coming and it's not coming and it's not coming. Okay, I'm going to be with myself. I'm not going to block them. I'm not going to shoot off a fiery message and then, you know, say, never contact me again. If you want to do that, do that. You're a grown up. I can't stop you. But I'm saying there's the chance to kind of like shoot from the hip and then end up hitting somebody that you didn't want to hit. So, patience, surrender, understand that like what I'm hearing is like something very specific, which is for some of you, there could be something where you're wanting or hoping to hear from somebody, you're not hearing from them, you're not hearing from them, you send a message, you still don't hear, you send a message, you still don't hear. And then you're like, you know what? If you're just going to play games with me, then blah, 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 blah. And then you get this message back like, hey, I'm really sorry. My mom just died. Or some crazy shit like that. And you're like, wow, I really just went off, didn't I? So resist the urge to go off. And, you know, you might have heard people talk about if you're ever in the car and you're a person who experiences a lot of road rage or whatever, like sometimes if we can think, oh, this person who was just sitting at the red light for like 3 seconds and I honked at them. Maybe they just had a really tough thing happen in their life. Maybe they're going through a breakup. Maybe they're depressed. Maybe they're just lost their job. Maybe I can give them some grace. Maybe I don't know what's happening in their life. Most likely, I don't know what's happening in their life. We can all get a little bit like in our ego and think that like we know better and that person's dumb because they're not this or they are that. And it's tempting and it's a nice, lovely head trip and whatever. And it can separate us from what's really happening. And the Hanged One, the whole point of this card is that surrendering to there might be more information or action that is going to become available and make things clearer for me or loosen up these bonds that I'm in. Patience is a fucking virtue. I know it's annoying. I have Scorpio placements myself. Now, coming over to the emotional realm, something is going to come in this week that helps set you free, that helps make you aware of an old pattern that is no longer serving you. I feel like that Hanged One has something to do with this, where it's like, wow, so I had to sit and wait for a decision to come through or some results to come through is something else that I'm hearing. And in that limbo, in that in between space between like, did I get the offer or did I, or what are the results or what is the test or whatever grade that I got? Somewhere in that limbo space, there's the availability to walk away from an old way of doing it that just isn't fucking working for you anymore. And maybe it used to. I think that it did. Maybe used talking to shit to myself and whatever used to work for me. And now I'm finding out that like, actually I'm just breaking my own heart and hurting myself. And I need to walk away from this self-destructive habit or dynamic. And that's what I'm hearing is some of you get some new information that helps you release yourself from an old habitual way of thinking or being, or like an old habitual dynamic. Well, I can't not see my mom. It's, you know, it's the holidays. And even though she's a terrible person, like I have to go be with her because she's my mom. Do you? Or are you pledging more loyalty to like social mores than to yourself? Questions worth answering. Beautifully, Scorpio. In the realm of your fire and your spirit, Three of Wands, expansion is at hand. Expansion is at hand. And expansion always does show up on the heels of stillness, recognition, releasing of old habits and ways of thinking and being that were not helping you grow. That's always where expansion happens. So stillness does not negate expansion. Stillness precedes, comes before expansion, okay? That's what Spirit is saying. So a little bit of reflective, you know what? It's like Spirit is saying is like the winter solstice just occurred. We are in the midst of it still, right? Yesterday was the winter solstice. This is a perfect time to relax, release, reflect. And Spirit is saying, and just notice that as you observe certain knots, without trying to take any action on them, if you just observe them for long enough and notice, like, oh, and the rope goes in right there, and then it kind of twirls around this. So it's like, yeah, and the way my father talked to me when I was little and kind of combined with like that thing that I did when I was 5, and I can see how I got knotted up here. And then suddenly the knot slips loose and everything becomes available because you're no longer hypnotized by a fake way of being and you're able to go to new places. So, feels like you are getting a little bit disillusioned and disenchanted, and that is a good thing. Because believing that old way thing was going to happen was just keeping me hung up and in an old place. And there is something new and amazing calling to me, and I think I'm going to go. That's what I'm hearing. What do you think, Scorpio? Let me know. Be very curious if you got stories, reflections, questions. Love to hear them. I hope that was helpful for you, Scorpio, and I hope that it truly helps you have a more satisfying, fun, fulfilling week. And now, speaking of fun, let's talk to my mutable fire folks. Sagittarius, Sagittarius sun, Sagittarius moon, Sagittarius rising and dominant folks, spirit. I want to see what is the overall theme or energy showing up. Wow, beautiful. Okay, for Sagittarius this week. And how, spirit, is Sagittarius themselves showing up? As a page, a knight, a king, a queen, earth, air, fire, water. How is Sagittarius showing up? And what do they need to know for their highest good this week, spirit? Okay. And what about their money, their work, their jobs, their budgets and resources, spirit? What do my Sagittarius sun, moon, rising, and dominant folks need to know about money? Money, work, opportunities for their highest good, spirit, Sagittarius. Okay. And what about their thoughts, their headspace, their conversations, spirit? I want to feel what is showing up this week for Sagittarius. Okay. And what about emotionally? In the realm of emotions and relationships, spirit, what do Sagittarians need to know? What are they feeling this week? Okay. And finally, how is Sagittarius's fire showing up? How bright, how hot is that fire? And how is that fire being directed among Sagittarians this week, spirit? Sagittarius. Okay. Beautiful overall energy for this week, Sagittarius. The star. And you know, it's important to remind you that the star, they're present at all times, right? The stars are over our head and all around us at all times. But when we can see them is when things get dark. It's the winter solstice. It's the darkest point of the year, right? So when things are difficult, when you have to go on faith, when you're not sure what the next step is, and all that you can do is move in the direction of what feels right in your heart and in your body and in your soul, then you are walking underneath the light of the star. Sagittarius, your optimism, your faith, something that is so essential, a part of your sign, something you are so well known for, that fire, that light that you have inside is what's going to carry you through this week. So you show up, Sagittarius, as the Knight of Pentacles, and Spirit is using the word enduring. So that wonderful, now they're playing a song by the Black Keys called Everlasting Light. And they're saying, that's your song this week, Sagittarius. You are the everlasting light, that enduring, always, like, you know, me and the sun, see you tomorrow. We are reliable, we are dependable. So you are showing up as in the middle of a growth phase. The knights are on horseback because they're in transition. They're neither the page that has just received the message, nor are they the queen or king that has like already moved through with the message and gotten to their sitting place, right? You are in transition, you are growing, and you are growing slow and steady. So if it feels at all too slow, maybe sometimes you wish you were going a little faster or a little further, well, I'll tell you what, when we see and we can only guide ourselves in the middle of the night in an unfamiliar forest, we don't rush forward, we go slow and steady. We follow the North Star at our own steady pace. We open up all of our senses because it's the night, it's the unfamiliar place. I need to be listening, I need to be feeling, and I can't exactly use my eyes. So I have to trust all the other senses that I have. If you are questioning whether you are in the right place at the right time, Spirit says all of us are always in the right place at the right time. It doesn't always feel that way. Sometimes the medicine that that place has for us is bitter or spicy. but we are always in the right place for the evolution of our soul. You know what I'm saying? Your optimism and your faith are, it feels like they're being tested, but that doesn't have to mean something terrible is happening. It means, okay, we're going to take you through the dark. Will you be able to find it in you to look for the North Star, even when it's dark and even when it's cloudy, when I can't see any stars? When I can't see any stars, it doesn't mean the stars are gone. It means I can't see any stars right now. So this is when I move on faith. I've been moving in this direction toward whatever my North Star is, what I want, what I desire, who I want to be in the world. And I move slow and steady. You might get a little distracted this week, and this is why Spirit is telling you to come back to your faith, to your optimism, and to your desire to be the change you wish to see in the world, to act like a beacon for other people, right? Sometimes it happens to the best of us. We look at the other person's paper. You know what I mean? We're doing our own test or we're doing our own drawing, and then we take a peek over at our neighbor's paper and we're like, wow, look at what they're doing right now. What they're doing is pretty amazing. God, look at this thing that I've got. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's crap. That is a distraction and an illusion. Don't compare yourself to other people. Okay, it's a fucking losing game. Even when you think that you're the better one, that's a losing game too, because that's a fucking ego game. Ooh, I'm looking and comparing my numbers to everybody else's numbers and I'm the best one. Okay, what now? Does that make you better at what you do? Does that help you grow? Does that make you more available? Does that open your heart? Or does that close your heart and make you harden and calcify? Don't compare yourself to other people. Not always a Sagittarian problem, but if you find that you're feeling a little tight in any part of your life, why I want more money, why do they have that and I don't have that? Those types of vibes, just notice that and be with that. Like, do I not have enough? Or am I making myself feel shitty by looking at somebody who has way more? You know, like if like let's pretend that fucking social media didn't exist. Would I even know that, like, oh, I don't have enough because I don't have this car or this filler in my face or this mansion or this house or this whatever? Could I be happy with what I had if I was just really present with what I had, or would I still want something to change? And if you would still want something to change, move in the direction of that change. Do not sit and fold your arms and be like, well, I don't know why they get that and I don't get that. Why don't I get that? All the growth that you could possibly want is available to you if you are present in the moment, not future tripping, not past tripping. Right here in this moment is where everything happens. And that is why Spirit is like, in total truth, you can never be in the wrong place or at the wrong time. You're where what you need is where you are right now, if you will have the eyes and the patience to see it. You feel me? It can be hard to fucking do when we're feeling a little insecure, when we are dominated by anxiety or analysis paralysis. If you're trying to solve all the problems before you get there, it's going to take you way longer to get there. What if it'll never be perfect? Could you go forward anyway, even if it'll never be perfect? You'll never be perfect, right? Eight of Swords says you feel insecure, but it's kind of all in your head. I don't mean that your concerns or fears aren't valid. That's not what I mean. I mean that you might be telling yourself, I'm not ready yet, when really it's a case of, like, you might never feel totally ready. You know? If you waited till you felt ready, the thing might never get done. Rather, if you felt like you could only do it when it was perfect. You know what I'm saying? You might be expecting something from yourself or from someone else that is, like, demanding perfection. That's just what I'm kind of hearing, is like, you might be demanding or hoping for or expecting perfection, and actually what comes could be way fucking better. I know that sounds like I'm just being Pollyanna or optimistic or whatever, but it's kind of like, oh, I was trying to figure out how to invent peanut butter and oops, I came up with chocolate. Aw, damn. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a fucking miss. It's a hit. You know what I'm talking about? It might be different than you expect. It might come out differently than you expect this week. But if you are not trapping yourself with, there's the theme here. If you are not trapping yourself with like, oh, it's only okay if it happens like this, or I'm only good if I do it like this. Oh, I can do it, but only by myself. Nobody else can do the things the way that I need them done, so I have to take it all on by myself. That limits you. That holds you back. The overall energy and theme for the week would say that revelation and progress and growth and abundance are all very fucking much available to you. You are holding the abundance. You have plenty, but when you get inside your own head, when your doubts and worries and fears and insecurities start getting louder than your heart and soul, anybody can get confused. Anybody can get overwhelmed. And I want you to know that I don't even know how, but this card just jumped out. Nine of Cups is the wishes coming true card. The star is the hope and faith will draw you toward your wish. When you wish upon a star. So don't be afraid to wish. There's nothing wrong with wishing. You wish and then you let it go and you walk on and you stay on path and you walk with faith. I've put my wish out there. Now all I can do is walk toward my values, what it is that I want, my North Star. Okay? So make the decision and walk forward and trust that whatever it is that you don't have yet, that you might feel that you are lacking, you will find it if you move forward with faith and courage. Okay? Okay. Life is a mystery that is unfolding for you this week, Sagittarius, but if you remind yourself that you really enjoy adventure and mystery, you'll have a better time than if you're like, I want to know what's going to happen. You know what I'm talking about? A little slight mindset shift. I hope that this helps, Sag. Let me know if you know what this is, or if you got stories, you got comments, you got questions. I would love to hear what you think. And now, let's move on to Cardinal Capricorn. My Earth, folks, and family. Spirit, I want to know, what is the overall energy, kind of the theme for Capricorn's week? What energy or theme is showing up for Capricorn, and what do you want them to know for their highest good? Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Moon, Capricorn Rising and Dominant, folks, Spirit. What is the overall energy showing up for Capricorn? Okay. And Spirit, how is Capricorn themselves showing up? How is Capricorn showing up, and how are they interacting with this energy? Showing up in their earth, air, fire, water, king, queen, knight, page. How is Capricorn meeting this energy this week, Spirit? Beautiful. Really beautiful. Okay. Don't worry, I'll pick up and show you everything in just a sec, Capricorn. Gotta look at your money, budgets, projects, Spirit, what you want Capricorn to know about their resources for their highest good. Fun, fulfillment, contentment, abundance. Yes, we love to see it. Okay. And what about emotions? The realm of the heart. What does Capricorn need to know when it comes to feelings and relationships this week, Spirit? Okay. There we go. There we go. We had a card mix mishap. Okay. We're back. Okay. Spirit. Want to know about their headspace. What does Capricorn need to know? That the realm of thoughts, words, and mind for their highest good. Love to see it. Awesome, awesome. And now, feelings, relationships, and the heart. Spirit, what's going on with Capricorn's heart? Beautiful. And finally, what about their fire, their energy, their will, their spirit and creativity? How is Capricorn's energy being directed this week? Wow, pretty fucking phenomenal. I think you might win. I think you might win this week, Capricorn, for good readings. Okay. Overall energy and theme for you this week, strength, which pairs beautifully with your persona card for this week, the Queen of Wands. So quickly, Queen, King, nothing to do with sex and gender, everything to do with personality type and kind of your station in life. Kings are focused on the world knowing what it is they're doing. Queens are focused on what it is they're doing. Queens are focused on their own process, their own creativity, and particularly the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Spirit and Fire and Charisma and Courage. She's very much invested in what excites her. And the Queen of Wands is often someone who is a great supporter of other people, like a great cheerleader, a great coach. You know what I mean? Someone who helps see the strengths and bring the strengths of others out. And to see her come along this strength card, what I'm feeling is, I was about to say there's a victory available, and then let's just jump really quick over here to your fire card, your Six of Wands, a victory, a recognition, celebration, applause. There is a victory available to you this week, and it comes not through leveraging like your brute strength, even like the brute strength of your personality, like railroading people into things or debating people into things. Like, I'm going to argue you down until you do things the way I want to. I feel like you don't need to do that this week. I feel like this is actually a week. I feel like that's why the queen is showing up as opposed even to a king, where it's like a king is going to demonstrate their power and their influence. A queen simply emanates. That's the difference. Kings demonstrate, queens emanate. Okay, that's how it's coming through. Your grace and strength and dignity radiate. Okay, the leader in you radiates. If you are brought into like, hey, there's this problem happening, or we need to mediate this, or hey, we're going to put this new thing on your plate and you don't want it, right? And it's like, okay, so what I want to do is throw a fit and have a fight and call a meeting and guns blaze. You don't need to do that. That dignity and that grace and that courage and that confidence that you're emanating, you do not need to raise your voice. You just need to use your voice. Strength is about inner strength. And it's about the opposite of like getting people to do what we want, and more helping them understand that doing what we want is going to be good for both of us. So strength of personality, strength of your heart is what strength is about. And the other thing that I always feel with strength is, how are you doing, Capricorn, at caring for your inner beast, your inner lion? You can know if your inner lion is starving when moods and words come roaring and scratching out of your chest that you weren't expecting. So if you feel depressed, if you feel anxious, if you feel angry all the time, you're probably starving or beating your inner beast instead of tending to it, nurturing it, caring for it the way that it needs and deserves. So when anxious or depressed or angry thoughts pop up, do you hate them and castigate them and curse them? Because you actually really need to invite all of yourself in. And you need to treat those aspects of yourself kindly and with patience. They need you. That's why they're showing up. And Spirit is actually bringing up that for some of you, the manifestations could be physical, like breaking out in hives, or breaking out with like acne, or like getting sick all of a sudden because it's like, yeah, because you're pushing me too hard. Like my body is telling me, hey, you're pushing me too hard. So if I have to get sick in order for us to take a fucking break, that's what we're going to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not concerned about you. These cards are actually really wonderful. I'm just saying, get in contact with your inner beast and get in concert with your inner beast. Because when you do that, Your lion will only jump out at the best of times, like when you need it. Okay, my sacred rage is needed right now, or like my courage or my force of personality is needed right now. Here comes my healthy, well fed lion. As opposed to, I'm not doing that great. Maybe my mental and emotional bandwidth is really low, and then somebody comes along and asks me for something, and I fucking snap on them. And that's my unhealthy lion leaping out and just at people. You know what I'm talking about? I think you know what I'm talking about. Now, money, fucking fantastic. Ace of Pentacles, a gift, an opportunity, an invitation, a promotion. And hello, when I see that Strength and Queen of Wands, and then the Ace of Pentacles next to the Six of Wands might be like a literal promotion. Like, hey, that job you wanted, here's that raise you wanted, here's that appreciation that you wanted. Definitely don't be a shy violet. This is definitely a week to walk around with confidence, to tell people what you want, to ask for what it is you want. You're doing it with charisma, courage, charm of the Queen of Wands. People want to give the Queen of Wands what she wants because they just want to be close to her. They just want to be bathed in that light and that warmth. So, someone wants to give you something. I say, if you want it, take it. Accept it. When we come to look at your headspace, Four of Swords, thoughts are in order. Things are calm. Things are making sense. I especially like to see this coming alongside the Strength card because it's like, oh, I can really understand where that reaction came from. When this coworker walked in and asked me to do one more thing and I felt like I was going to snap her head off. Oh, you know what? That was the 5th time that day that somebody asked me to do something that wasn't in my fucking job description. You know what I'm saying? Now I see where that's coming from. Okay, now what do I want to do about that? That's a very like Four of Swordsy, strengthy approach. I'm not going to snap. I'm not going to receive input and react. I'm going to put space between the stimulus and my response. And that space is like breathing, meditation. Oh, that was a really difficult phone call. I'm going to take a 15-minute break and walk around the building. Like discharge some of this energy so I don't come rolling into my next thing with this still inside. Do you feel me? When it comes to emotions, feelings, relationships, Two of Cups, something special, something sweet is brewing or rebrewing, like reuniting or reigniting is something that Spirit just said. Two of Cups is like the crush card. It's like, ooh, I like you, you like me, we're having fun, like early stages. So some of you might be indeed meeting someone or continuing to see someone where there's like this budding relationship that's growing. And some of you, those of you that might be in like, oh, I've been with somebody for a very long time or whatever, Two of Cups can indicate like, oh, let's fall in love all over again. Let's remember the reasons. Maybe even like, let's talk about when we first met. What did you like about me when we first met? What did you notice? Blah, 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 blah. And having those conversations that bring back and like consciously invoke those good feelings. You know what I'm saying? It's like, let's not let the water run dry. Let's like actually reactivate and resummon the water. So reflecting on what made you fall in love with this person or this place that you are in again. Good time to reminisce. And let's just come back to it before we close the reading and remind you that when it comes to your fire, your energy, your spirit, your will, Six of Wands, public recognition, public applause, promotion, getting the job, getting the raise, getting the win that you want, highly available, highly available. Walk around like the motherfucking queen or king or whatever gendered monarch you tend to identify with. Walk around with that crown on. Magnanimous, charming, like I don't have to exert force. I emanate what I want and it comes to me. If you ask for what you want, it feels like people really want to give it to you this week. So if you're waiting, don't wait. This is the week. This is the week, Capricorn, okay? Okay. What do you think, Capricorn? Is any of this ringing? Any of this resonating for you? Very curious, as always. Questions, comments, stories. Let me know. And now Let's talk to my airy Aquarian family, my wild and wonderful weirdos. Aquarius, Aquarius sun, moon, rising and dominant people. What did they need to know this week, Spirit? And how is Aquarius showing up? Are they showing up like a page, a knight, a queen, or a king? Are they showing up earthy, airy, fiery, watery? How is Aquarius showing up this week, and what do they need to know about it for their highest good? Okay. And Spirit, what about when it comes to their money? Budget, work, projects for Aquarius. Aquarius sun, Aquarius moon, Aquarius rising. Spirit, want to know about their finances this week. Nice. Okay. And what about their headspace, their thoughts, their words, their communications this week, Spirit? What is the kind of inner world Aquarius this week? Making a decision, making a really important decision. That's what I'm hearing. We're going to talk about it. Okay, Spirit, so let's look at their heart, their emotions, their feelings, and relationships for Aquarius this week. What's going on in the realm of the heart? Okay. And finally, Spirit, what about Aquarius's fire? How is their willpower, their creativity, their energy showing up and being directed this week? Is the fire high? Is the fire low? Is it bright? How is Aquarian fire showing up this week? How and what do they need to know about it for their highest good? Always and only for their highest good. Nice. I feel like you're moving in a new direction. When I say that you're making a choice, it feels kind of like, okay, been there, done that, gonna go ahead and leave this behind because there's like a new level of expansion and growth available and I want it. So let's talk about it. Aquarius, your overall energy and theme for the week. The Lovers, a beautiful card, often reminds people of romantic relationships, what can definitely be implied like, ooh, soulmate relationship, ooh, we're really going to a deeper next type of level. But really, what the Lovers says is you're making a really important and passionate choice. It's like I could have maybe these three paths that are open in front of me. I love this version, the Mythic Tarot, because it uses stories from mythology to describe. And here, this poor mortal dummy is being asked to choose between three goddesses and say which is the most beautiful. And it's like, ooh, do I want to go for Queen Hera? She's queen of all the gods. Do I want to go for Aphrodite, who's, the queen of love and beauty, or the goddess of love and beauty? Or do I want to go for Artemis over here, who's, the wisest and most graceful of the goddesses? I tell you what, this guy's being set up for failure because no goddess likes to be not chosen. That's a separate story. So the Lover says things are opening up and there's dreams are being presented to you. Which dream do you want to dream? You can't have them all. That's kind of like the whole point of the Lovers is like, ooh, damn, which path am I going to choose? There's this meadow, there's this mountain, and there's this bridge. Which one is calling to me? And actually, as I say that, Spirit is like, you should use this as like kind of a visual or a meditation for yourself. Some of you, high praxis, some of you already know what this decision is. Maybe you literally are choosing between a couple of different like people that you want to date or jobs or projects, whatever. Visualize them and see, like, when I put those three places or things in front of me, when I engage with this one, how does it feel? When I engage with this one, how does it feel? When I engage with this one, how does it feel? Really listen to yourself and really notice, pay deep attention. You are coming through this week, Aquarius, as the King of Swords, top of your game in your element. The kings are tangible, demonstrable experts of their field. Everyone can see what a king does, right? So, whatever your gender has nothing to do with king and queen, and this has everything to do with like station in life and kind of personality type. It's like kings want everybody to know, hey, I'm the shit. Hey, I'm the best at this. Hey, this is my realm of expertise. Okay. So, and King of Swords is quick wits, quick with a comeback, like quick with a slice, quick with the truth. Normally, King of Swords are very focused on their integrity. They want to be the most honest. They can be a little bit ruthless with their honesty. Um, but that's another story. I think that this combination is telling me you're really smart. You make really good and clear minded decisions as the King of Swords. Don't leave out what you're passionate about, though, because the Lovers is about passion. The Lovers is about divine union, like bringing together aspects of myself, and I get to be more whole. So maybe you've been a little cut and dry. Maybe you've been a little bit in your King of Swords bag of like, I don't get my feelings mixed up in this, or I don't get too passionate about things because I think passionate people end up looking kind of silly or whatever. It's like, hey, time to get a little bit adventurous. Time to leave some of these old ways behind because a newer, bigger, better, more exciting life is showing up. Now, beautifully, you seem to be very well resourced as you make this decision. Nine of Pentacles is a card of self sufficiency. It's, I did it myself. I have plenty. I'm really proud of what I've been able to do. And I'm also pretty fucking fulfilled. Like, I know that I'm doing a good job. And not just me, but everybody can see it. Because again, kings want everybody to know, y'all can all see what I've piled up for myself and this fruit that I've grown from seed to its entirety. Spirit is using the word graduation. Some of you might be literally or figuratively graduating from something, like, of course, graduating from school or graduating from like a certification program of some kind. And it's like, look at that, I did it. And some of you might be graduating as in, like, oh, I've learned everything that I can from being in this relationship or being in this job or participating in this type of dynamic. And now I got to go. Now I'm recognizing that some of the battles that I'm involved in, I think I'm above them. And that's kind of what I'm hearing, Aquarius, is like, are you like, sorry, my cat is like trying to eat a cord right now. Um, are you trying to mess around in places that it's like, this is just what I'm hearing. It's like, this is beneath me. That's just what I'm hearing. And I would say that that's like your own inner monologue. So it's nobody putting that on you. If you're not feeling that, then don't worry about it. That's for some other Aquarius. But for those of you that are feeling this is beneath me, or like I'm above this, or I'm better than this, be better than it and leave it behind. There's nothing that looks worse. It's a no worse look than like, I'm too good for this person and let me continue to be in a relationship with them, or like, I'm too good for this job and continuing to be in that job. Like, who ends up looking silly? It's not the one who goes for the next thing. It's the one who says shit like that and then continues to stay in the same fucking place. You know what I'm saying? We all know a person like that, right? Um, and hey, fucking no blame, no shame, no judgment. We don't do that here. This is just about, if it resonates, pay attention, maybe make a different choice. So, regardless of which Aquarius you are on that scale, all Aquarians are taking stock of where they're putting their mental energy and deciding that there's a couple of places where they could remove it. Where it's like, you know what, this is not a fight I want to have anymore, or this is not a conversation I care about anymore, or I don't want to be affiliated with XYZ anymore. I'm going to leave those swords behind. I'm going to take what I need and I'm going to go. So retreat, regroup. Retreat and regroup. Now, to echo that kind of energy, in the emotional realm, Eight of Cups, you've outgrown something. Emotionally, you have outgrown something. You're done with it. You're tired of it. It's like, I keep trying to go back to this habit or this relationship or this whatever this is, and I keep trying it again and I keep finding out, ugh, this isn't it. Ugh, this isn't it. Ugh, this isn't it. Like being addicted to a substance, but then you use the substance and it's like, my tolerance is so high, I can't get drunk anymore, or I can't get high anymore, or this just feels depressing, or this just feels boring. Those are signs that you're ready to move on from something. You know what I'm talking about? Or when you're like, I'm lonely, so I'm going to go hang out with my, like, situationship person, and I come home feeling lonelier than if I had just stayed here by myself. Those are Eight of Cups situations where it's like, this used to do something for me, and now it's actually denigrating me every time I sip from one of those cups. It makes me feel like less of myself when I'm here to feel like fucking more of myself. That is available. And I see some of you probably divesting from like people or substances or situations that are making you feel reduced. Because boy, oh motherfucking boy, have you got something great coming up for you. Ace of Wands is inspiration. I've got a great idea. I've got a passion project that I really want to put some stock into, something that really excites me, something that makes me feel like more of myself, like I'm on path. And not just like I'm on path, but like I chose my fucking path and I'm on it, I'm living it, I'm fucking loving it. And that anything that I've had to let go to get here was not for me. Because if I had kept it, I couldn't get here. You know? I hope that makes sense. What do you think, Aquarius? Is any of that ringing true for you? Or not true? Shit, I want to know. I want to know. I'm unbiased, bitch. I want to know what you're feeling. Comments, questions, stories. I really hope that that helps you have a better week. There's plenty available, and so much is available to you right now that some of it is like, oh, this is excess and this could go, and I'd be better off. That's what I'm hearing. Okay. I hope that helps, Aquarius. And now it's time. It's Pisces time. My mutable water friends and family, Pisces sun, Pisces moon, Pisces rising and dominant folks, spirit. Want to see what is the overall energy coming through for my Pisces people and what they need to know about it for their highest good. Pisces sun, Pisces moon, Pisces rising. What do they need to know, Spirit, for their highest good? Their highest good. Pisces. Pisces. Wow. Okay. Beautiful. And Spirit, how is Pisces themselves showing up? What kind of element, what kind of characteristics is Pisces showing up with this week? And what do they need to know about it for their highest good? Okay. And Spirit, what about their money? When it comes to money, projects, jobs, budget, opportunity. How are Pisces resources looking this week? Okay, makes sense to me. And what about their headspace? What they're thinking? The way that they're speaking? What do they need to know for their highest good, Spirit? Pisces. Pisces sun, Pisces moon, Pisces rising and dominant folks, Spirit. What do they need to know when it comes to their emotions? And finally, Spirit, what do they need to know when it comes to their fire, their willpower, their creativity, their spirit? Beautiful. You are making adjustments this week, Pisces. That's what I'm hearing. And keep your feet on the ground. Keep your feet on the ground. Stay in the present moment. What do I mean by that? No need to future trip. No need to past trip. Everything that you need is available in the moment. Okay? And only in the moment. thinking, oh, I wish I'd done this differently, or I wonder if this is going to happen. That doesn't do anything except chase you away from what is right here, what is right now, what is showing up for you. So, overall theme and energy for the week. First card, the moon, which is the Pisces card, by the way. And whenever, though, we get a card that is maybe a little murky or a little mysterious, I always want to pull kind of like a prescription, a clarifier to help you move through that energy better. So the moon is about our unconscious. The moon is about our memories, our patterned, programmed ways of seeing the world. You know, we can have illusions, and spirits like saying built-in illusions. So it's like, thanks mom and dad for building in these illusions around, this is how I need to be, or this is what love is, this is what it isn't, this is what success is, this is what it isn't, this is what blah 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 blah. You are getting the opportunity to notice your unconscious patterns and programming and handle them in a more conscious way. Now, I love this deck, but this is not my favorite rendering of the strength card, because this would imply that you need to like brutalize, control, dominate, submit your inner beast, your inner lion, when the communication of the card is actually extremely different. It says, as your aggression or anger or depression or rage or whatever comes up, you want to handle it with kindness and compassion and staying really present with it. And Spirit is showing me a very poignant image, which is the same way that if a 5-year-old comes up screaming and crying to you, you don't tell them like you're being a stupid little drama queen bitch right now. I can't even believe that you're crying because you lost your little toy. Oh my God, what a baby. You wouldn't do that, because that's cruel, it's dismissive, it's immature, ironically, on your part, right, to do that. What you do is you let that child have their emotions, and you sit with them as they go through those emotions, and you see in them, as you sit with them as they go through their emotions, that they do better and they transcend ultimately that emotion because they were actually with it, rather than tried to get rid of it, put it away, stuff it in a bag, and put it in the back of the closet because everybody would think they were silly for having that fear or that need, right? Your fears, your needs, your hurts require your presence and your non-judgment, your compassionate witness. So if parts of your past bubble up this week, you know, it's the holidays. We just had the winter solstice. People will be celebrating all kinds of different holidays. Maybe you're with family, maybe you're with old friends, maybe you're not with family and old friends, and whatever it is, it's bringing up deep, old stuff. This is your opportunity to handle it with grace and courage and compassion and kindness. This is your chance to say, instead of, oh my God, I'm so depressed, that's so fucked up, that's so bad, that's so shitty, it's the holidays, I'm not supposed to feel like this, it's supposed to be like this, it's supposed to, no, actually, what you're feeling right now, yeah, that's what you're feeling right now. I'm going to be with that. I'm not going to tell myself I shouldn't be feeling this way or I should be feeling this other way. This is how I'm feeling. How can I care for myself in this? Patterns and programs you'll be noticing, and you have the chance to lovingly dismantle them, okay? And build them, change them, grow them, cultivate them into something that supports your growth and expansion and enjoyment and pleasure in life, okay? Like Spirit's saying, we're talking about literally taking pleasure in the simplest things in life. Having a meal, taking a walk, breathing really deeply. Really simple, slow things. Those will bring you presence and pleasure. Those are a good antidote for the depression, the anxiety, the murkiness that can show up. So, going along with that message, Seven of Pentacles says, take a deep pause, take a deep breath, take a step back. Might be a really good time to rearrange the pieces of your life. Like, oh, you know what? I could stack them up like this, and that might work a little better than the way it's been going. Like maybe I've been spending a lot of time doing this and no time doing that, and I want to bring those into balance or change them completely. You know what I'm talking about? How is your life balance? Work, life, pleasure, growth. You know what I mean? Spirit is showing me something they showed me for another sign. So I literally can't even remember because it's like channeling. It's in one ear and not the other. But Spirit is showing me like that. It's like a life satisfaction graph. It's a circle, and it's like, here's, personal growth, and here's romance, and here's family, and here's work, and here's money, and here's whatever, religion, spirituality, whatever. How am I doing? How happy am I? From 1 to 10, how am I doing in, physical fitness and spiritual whatever and yada yada? And where do I want to bring some more attention? So you might want to literally like Google that. If I remembered the name, I can just see it. I can't remember the name of it. But if you look up circular life happiness graph, I'm sure it'll pop up. And fill that in and be like, oh, you know what? I am really lacking in like the friends department. So, come 2024, I want to put a lot more focus into making more friends or forging deeper relationships with the friends I do have or whatever. Get really intentional. Do a little life audit. Now, when it comes to your headspace, this makes a lot of sense because we have the moon. So when Spirit said unconscious patterns and programs will be showing up, 5 of Swords, what are your self-defeating habits and thought patterns? What are your self-sabotaging thought patterns? What words do you use on and against yourself? And this is an important question. Who originally put those words into your head in the deep past? Because it's time to unravel your connection to those words. Looking at the emotional realm also makes sense when we have the moon come up, because this is a little bit about like confusion, diffusion, many, many options. Which thing do I really want? Well, that's why you want to do your little life audit. What am I lacking? What is abundant for me? What do I not need to put any more time or work into because it's actually going really great and I could stop obsessing and put that into something else? Spirit's being really like plain spoken and pragmatic with this. They're like, we're really telling you, like, get this graph and like color pencil that shit in, and then do it again in 3 months, and then do it again in 3 months, and then do it again in 3 months, like with the cycles of the year. Do one now, it was just the solstice. Do another one at the spring equinox. Do another, you know what I'm saying? And work consciously on like, how can I love myself better? How can I take better care of myself? How can I grow in the directions I want to grow on purpose? If you do that, you'll be sitting real pretty. When it comes to your energy, your fire, your creativity, your spirit, 4 of Wands is celebration. It's happy homecoming. It's feeling seen and appreciated by your close community, family, blood, or chosen. And it's feeling like I'm right where I am supposed to be. And, Spirit said at some point in this reading, it's like, we really are always right where we are supposed to be. We just don't always feel that or have the perspective to see why it is perfect. It's like, well, don't fucking feel perfect. Well, sometimes the medicine is bitter. And we take that bitter medicine until we realize, like, oh, okay, I can change something about this and I won't have to take this anymore. Or I get used to the taste and now I don't mind so much. To each their own. But between strength and these decisions, the sorting that you're doing, and seeing this 4 of Wands, I feel like you reach a point where you feel more like yourself than you have in a while. And it's because you're separating yourself from things and people and voices that have nothing to do with who you are and everything to do with who they thought you were supposed to be. And fuck them. Did I say no blame, no shame, no judgment? I meant it for, you. Everybody else, that's a whole other thing. Okay, Praxis is trying to climb on the cards, so it's time to say goodbye. Thanks, y'all, for being here. I deeply appreciate you. Pisces, I hope that this reading is helpful for you. And for all of you that have been listening to this, such deep appreciation. And I hope that I will see you in next week's reading. Bye-bye.